Delta created, announcing intent to purchase a majority stake in influencer talent management firm WHE Agency, that's Charlie Romeo Tango Delta. VIAV and EXFO, VIAV, announcing an
Good
proposal
morning,
to
good
acquire
morning.
Expo at $7.50 per share. That's EXFO and VIAV. Shares of Expo spiking as high as $9.42. Again, that offer for $7.50. That's $9.14 Canadian currency. VIAV and EXFO.
All right, good morning, everybody. Nobody's here live just now, or just yet, so not sure if anybody's going to join us today or not, but it's a good video to watch. I want to explain or show you guys what I call the house. A lot of times you hear me talking about the right side of the roof, and I'll show you a picture of this. What I mean by the right side of the roof.
Trade Desk has launched operations in India, Tango Delta.
Is that when these stocks pop in the morning, where they peak at is where you take your line from the top. Now let me just go through here. Actually, let me get my pen up here, guys. This should help you out trading immensely. All right, so once your stock peaks out, you want to draw a line from the top to the bottom. And then when you peak up here and you get your first pullback, you want to draw a line like this down to the bottom. All right? Just imaginary lines. I call this the house. All right? So we're going to make a little house here like a hobbit house. You might think it's funny right now, but when I go back in other tickers and show you, you're not going to believe it. But remember, day trading is easy. It can only go 3 ways: up, down, or sideways. Alright, cool. Enough with the hobbit house. Alright, so basically this is the pattern that every stock does. It makes a house, believe it or not. And what you're looking for once you reach your peak of something like that just ran, or with news, or just any ticker in particular. Alright? I call this the chimney right here. If we break out of this line, the imaginary line that you drew, and you'll understand this in a minute, you'll get where I'm going. The chimney, I call this. If we break out of the chimney, now I'm watching this for a second trade or a third trade, okay? So here we came up almost to this high, my resistance, and here's our support level. I'm looking for this ticker symbol now to come back to support and then to make another high. All right? So in our group this morning, I said I was looking for this one to come back to the 460, 450, 440 area, somewhere around here, right? Because the first move that we made, we had resistance in this area. So you're looking for a pullback into this area, and then a retest and possibly another pullback before you break through. Alright, so let's get back to the house theory. So here we had another house, right? We came up here and we peaked. Now notice how this ticker, or the stock, or the candle bars just kind of respected the line of my house, right? Okay, the chimney formed right here, right? We broke out of the chimney again. So now I'm watching it. But now, on our way back up here, we have all of these shorters trapped, right? We did here as well, and it didn't hold, all right? But here, we're to the halfway point. We have all these shorters trapped in this area. Now you have more people shorting, more people shorting, more people shorting, more people shorting. So what this bar right here did was trap everybody again, all these new people, right? So now with all these new people trapped, we have a very small wick on this candle. The next candle has a very small wick as well. This would have been the candle I would have entered on, but I would not have taken this trade because 9 times out of 10, once you break through this area here, the people who shorted up here are going to be adding to their short position so they don't get stopped out. So when you have big candles going up to a resistance area like this, it's typically not going to work. Which you see here, we broke through and now we came back down, but now we're making a new area of resistance. Okay, so this here is your area of resistance. Now, you know, you could have taken this trade, sure. I wouldn't have personally, because I've been doing this for a long time and I know what the charts are going to do. So we did make it through here, but you see how quickly it rejected up here. So now we have a new area of consolidation. We have the RSI that's telling us we're consolidating. We were consolidating back here, and then we had this push up. But again, I typically won't get back into a trade until we at least test these areas twice. I like to see it. I would have liked to see it come to here and do this and then do this. But we didn't, and that's okay because I did trade this. So now you want to trade smart. Now let's get rid of, I don't want to get rid of, let's go back to the house theory. Let me just, I don't know, let's pick a random ticker, EBON. Just to show you what I'm talking about here. EBON I traded the other day. Let's get rid of the house. All right, so EBON, here we go. We had this, you know what? Let's look at the 5-day. See what we got here. Beautiful. Now, do you guys see anything that we just talked about here? What do we got going on here? Just like I just said, you always hear me talking about the right side of the roof. What do we got here? We got a house. We got a Hobbit house. Happens every day on every ticker. Right? Here we go. Now let me just make it nice and easy for you. Guys, what you guys got to understand and why you can do this so easily like this and make fun of, like, make funny little Hobbit houses is because you're not trading with a bunch of other traders like you see, like the illusion they want you to believe. They want you to believe that you and your fellow friends that are on this time and sales are moving the markets. Okay? That's what they want you to think. But in reality, it's a child's game. Right? You have a little Hobbit house with windows all over the place. And again, I'm going to go to a few more tickers here. Doesn't matter which one we go to. Hobbit houses are a theme. And you know why that is, guys? Is because you're trading against institutional traders, hedge funds, and market makers. Okay? Proprietary firms are most likely going to show up here in the time and sales, which does have big money, but they're shorting as well. Alright? So the best trades you're going to get are going to be on the left side of the roof, on the left side of the 20, and on the left side of the 200. How do you know if you're going to get another trade throughout the day? Well, if you get a little chimney on the Hobbit house, you're looking for this type of a chimney. Okay? The first chimney didn't do anything. This chimney started to go sideways. Okay? It broke out. It started letting smoke out. We'll call it smoke from the chimney. Right? So now you're looking for an area to enter. Alright? Look at this. Hobbit house. You can't make this stuff up, guys. This is just how easy it is.
CRTO, Corteo announcing international.
And I really want you guys to
partnership
get
with
this and
Careful Group,
understand
that's
it. So
Romeo Tango Oscar, CRTO.
I don't know what he just called. Let's go look at MEDS. All right. How do you know when? Oh, what do you guys see here? That's not a Hobbit house, is it? Is that a Hobbit house on MEDS? Ah, it can't be. Sure is, guys. Again, day trading is easy, right? The markets can only do two things: go up, down, or go sideways, right? The best place to be is on the left side of the 20, above the 200, right? Did you get a chance? Did you get another trade here to possibly go long on MEDS? On the 2 minute, yes, you probably did. Right in this area, we probably would have broke out of the Hobbit house a little bit. But do you see the overall theme, guys? Hobbit houses are everywhere. They are in every single ticker symbol that you're going to trade. All right? You got to be smarter than the markets, guys. Let's look at, what did I call out today? AUVI. I think I traded that. Yeah, I took a little bit of a trade on it. Let's get out to the 2 minute chart. Oh, wow. What do we got here? Look familiar, guys? Let's draw it. Okay. We got the left side of the roof. The left wall, right? Right, guys? Seeing this? We got a chimney. The chimneys I just like to do like this. But anyway. So, and then we got smoke. Alright, so we got the Hobbit house. I don't know why this thing likes to make up its own thingy, but we got the Hobbit house. Okay? We got a chimney, and we got smoke. So now we know that this downtrend is not going to continue like we saw with APRE, right? We saw the chimney, and then we saw this downtrend, and now we have the chimney and another uptrend. AUVI. Back to AUVI. I'm going to stay on the 1 minute for you guys. You'll see it a little bit better. Alright, so we got the Hobbit house. Now we got another Hobbit house with another chimney, which failed. Now look at this. Let's actually get right on that. But you see how this respects these lines to the downside. Here we have another break. Another chimney, if you want to call it. So you guys see these houses, right? I know it sounds silly, but I guarantee you if you start looking at the markets with something silly like this, all your bad trades are going to disappear. Alright? We got one Hobbit house. We got two Hobbit houses. Okay? This is how easy day trading can be. If you let it. Right? When you fill up your screen with 5 billion technical indicators, you're not doing anything. Alright, we're getting ready to hit the bell here. Let me get set up. See what we're going to do on AUVI and APRE. I know it looks funny. Let me get on the other one here. AUVI. I'm going to have two tickers ready to go. $30 seconds. GOED is doing well. But I just want to get everything set. Ready to roll. For the opening bell. See what we got. Why did it fill me up there? You got to be kidding me. Getting out of it. I don't know why it filled me way up there, but not the entry I was looking for. If this candle closes green up here, I'll get back in. Typically, I do not trade the opening bell like that. But I was looking to capture that quick little in and out movement. But for some reason, Thinkorswim was really slow and didn't fill me in to where I probably would have closed it out. So let's see what this first minute candle does. Ford had a nice
AMC,
little
Alpha
pop.
Michael Charlie weekly 85 call sweep on AMC.
I'm actually going to leave this one now. The first candle wasn't good. I see REI. We got any news on REI? Sector Energy. You know, the energy's been doing good. I would have thought SPY would have done better today. Let me look and see what SPI is doing. No, it's just tanking also. I'm setting up another scanner here. Opening candle, we had a nice green candle. Let me see, I'm just not sure what the volume is on this. 440,000. This is one that I've been kind of watching on the back burner. But you know what? I'll go ahead and take 25 shares. We got 2 green candles. Nothing else is really looking that good. Now SPY is making a move.
GOEV Canoe weekly 11.5 call sweep on Golf Oscar Echo Victor.
Now, I won't lose more than 1 bar, so if we come below this line, I'll get out of the position. Very odd to have a green candle with no wick and then get trapped like that. That's really odd. But it does happen. Alright, out. Let's see what we ended up doing here. So we had tweezer bottoms, which is a good sign to enter the trade or enter a trade. I'm going to lower my share size. This is a small account that we're on here. TRCH is popping off.
Coming up at 10:30, crude and gasoline inventories. GE&I Genius Sports seeing some fall activity. October 20 calls now on Gulf Echo November. India GE&I.
Now again, following the 1 bar rule, if we break through right here, I'm out. But now you see right here, it looks like we got tweezer tops. So we went from tweezer bottoms to tweezer tops. Out. Done with that one. If it's not holding up now, I don't think we're going to see it hold up at all. So still up $8.58 on it. Not bad. Let's see what else we got out here. DDD, plug, EXPR. Man, there's a lot moving out there now. But BNG, oh man, a lot of good one. EYES, ripping. A lot of things ripping. All right. So, back to the Hobbit houses. Let's see what we got here. So, this is why you have to cut your losses quickly, guys, because you got to remember tweezer bottoms, and I haven't really covered that with you guys, but tweezer bottoms are when you see two candles that touch at the same area and they have long wicks. That's going to indicate a movement up to the upside. Right, so this would have been a good candle to buy in on, the close of that candle. Because tweezer bottoms, you're going up. Same thing at the top. Two candles, right? Let me move that line. But two candles closed at the same height, one open, one closed. But you have your tweezer wicks, which indicates a reversal to the downside. So, again, I got filled with a bad fill. So nothing I can do about that, except use Speed Trader or something. And now we're moving back. So let's draw the Hobbit house here. Let me use an actual line so you guys can see it as it's forming. All right, so we came up. And now watch, it'll just respect this line. And if we break through and get a chimney and smoke, we're waiting for another entry. So let's draw the little Hobbit house. Hobbit house. TRCH is doing good. Which is why I really don't understand why SPI is not doing good. Makes no sense. I have my regular account, so if you hear trades going through, I'm trading on my account while we talk or while I go live. So FORD is doing well. I got a trade on that last night, but I just want to keep it here so you guys can see the Hobbit house form live in action. And this is being recorded. It'll be live on YouTube. TG, I see you're there watching. But the Hobbit house is something I haven't covered yet, but it's pretty amazing how accurate it is. So I would recommend you go in and watch it from the beginning. So here we got the chimney forming, and now we're looking for smoke. I know it sounds crazy, but if you watch this whole video from the beginning, you'll understand what I'm saying. And it'll make sense because simplicity in this game is key. So looking at Ford, it looks like we got resistance right here. Right here on the 200, we got resistance. So let's see what we do. And this would be our support area. We had resistance here, but we broke it. And if we break through all that, this would be our next area. And then this area would be our next. So this is how you get your areas of support and resistance. Notice when I stretch it out, it comes right over to here. Right now, we have way too many wicks on top. So I would not get in this because there's a lot of selling pressure and a lot of shorting interest on this right now. That's what those wicks are indicating. You know what? Let's look at Ford for the Hobbit house. And some of the things I was saying here, especially with these runners in the morning. When you see one big bar like this right off the bat in the morning or after hours, I was fortunate enough to take a trade on this yesterday. I think I got in right here, we both picked it up, and then I ended up selling on this somewhere around this area. But if you look at this, and this is just going to be the right side of the roof from the Hobbit house because we don't have a left side. You get your high here, and you draw your triangle down. And notice this respects that area. It has a very hard time breaking through that area. When it does, this would be your chimney.
FEYE, FireEye, September 21 call sweep now on FireEye, FEYE.
And then this would be your smoke.
There is ticking higher here, 21.
But we never did get any real movement after that. And this here is the second high that we had in this area. Let me open this up because it's wanting me to do things that I'm not doing. So right here was our second high. I'm not doing that. Alright, I must be on the wrong drawing tool. Alright, so this was your second high. Again, we took out all of these shorts here, right? So now they're all trapped, but we never even came close to getting up to this area. Now remember, when you come up to a double top like this, like had this stock continued to come up, you're going to have a lot of pushback because these shorters are going to protect their position and they're going to keep adding to push the position down, which is why I don't really take a trade until our area of support. I like to see this before I'll take any trade, and then I'll take a trade to the upside. Or let me draw the line here. Or here on support, this is what I'm looking for. Alright, I'm looking for this bounce to take a trade, right? Because now we know we found support and we found resistance. So with something like this, you could take every one of these trades off of support, and you know where to get out or when to potentially be looking to get out. Each one of these trades was a 20-cent move, but with 1,000 shares, that's $200. You could have had $200 here, would have been the first trade, $200 here, $200 here, and that was pretty much your last trade because then we had a new area of support, right? We had a lot of consolidation. That's what the red dots mean on the TTM squeeze. So here is not an area to trade because you don't have that confirmation. You do. You have a little bounce here, and you could have made $100 on each one of these little trades, but that's not something I personally would have done. And then again, notice how, you draw these lines and it just respects it. And what I was saying earlier is that you guys have the illusion that all these people matter and can move the markets. They don't, and they can't. This is all done by an algorithm. So you got to be smarter than the algorithm and figure it out. That's where these little funny houses come into play. Because once you get a top and a bottom, you can draw these lines out. And you're going to notice that this will hit this line and not break through. And if it does, you're looking for smoke and a continuation to the upside. Then you're looking for support and resistance before you take your next trade. If you can do this mentally and understand what I'm saying, even with this and the rules that we already teach, there should be no reason that you would lose trades anymore. So again, here on Ford, we have the left side of the roof.
Company's AML treatment meets its primary efficacy endpoint.
And now the right side of the roof. And now we got a chimney, right? So now here, I would wait for this to get in a range, right? Let it tell me, are we going to continue up? And where is support going to be or resistance? And are we going to come back down? And if so, is resistance going to hold? Or support, I should say. So we have the Hobbit house formed. We got a chimney. Let me use the lines so it's cleaner.
DKNG, DraftKings, weekly $50 call sweep now on DKNG. Delta Kilo, November.
Now that would be a fake out chimney. the fake out breakout.
If you would,
And
$42 million
notice we just broke
worth,
support on that
for
move
stock on
right there.
Tuesday. That's Delta Kilo November.
All right, so our area of support would have been right in here, and we just broke through it. But notice the house and the chimney, right? We made a little chimney, and now look, it's respecting the line again. All right, you're not trading with all these people. These people are you and I. We're an illusion to the system. All right. But again, watch this whole video for the Hobbit House from the beginning so you understand and you could catch up to what I'm saying with the houses. And I just think that it's so funny that you could do that with the markets. All right. So here's Ford. Let's go back to ARPE because we got Hobbit houses forming all over the place on this. Here was the first house with the chimney. We got smoke and then we started breaking out. Now, here's the second. We already got a chimney formed and we're breaking out of the chimney, which is good. So this is our new resistance area. Right. You want to put your resistance on the very top of a candle that actually touched it. The wicks do not matter. And what you're looking for when you're trading this, when you're trading up in an area like this, again, we already have the upward trend, the pullback, and the retest. So now we're looking for a pullback to support. And this would be a good area to enter if we hold support. Here we broke it. We broke support one time, which is not a really good sign for any ticker symbol. So now we're looking to see what we do here. Are we going to make it to support or are we going to make a new high? Now we have a really nice wick under this. So we'll just let it ride out and see what it does. But what you're looking for now is consistency, right? Or then a higher high. You just want to make sure before you get into a trade that you have a confirmed area of support. Because we're still in consolidation, so there's a lot of fighting going on. Remember, whenever you see red circles, that means you're in a squeeze. And there's a lot of orders on both sides. But again, proprietary firms are going to be your worst enemy as far as what you could see on like the level 2, because theirs will show up there. But hedge funds, they typically wouldn't trade tickers like this. And then the market makers. So you're looking for consistency in areas that matter. And right now, these are the two areas that matter. So it's about a 50-cent move from here to there. Now this is almost looks like tweezer bottoms. And it doesn't matter if one is red or one is green. What matters is if this was tweezer bottoms, this is where they should both close and these would be their wicks, which it just did. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a 10-share order there. And this would be my stop out right here. Came back down again. Right to it. Let's see what's going to take me out. Good morning, Mo Buddy. I would definitely go in and watch this live from the beginning later today. Some great information in it. I'm really not even believing that we're seeing what we're seeing right now, especially with tweezer bottoms. Those are some powerful indicators, but that kind of surprises me. Haven't been taken out yet, so we'll see what we do. Watching my other thing here. This is good. It means there's a lot of buying pressure. Big wicks on the bottom are always a good thing. But again, you got short sellers that are still in this over here. And all of these short sellers. And they're going to do everything they can to keep this price from breaking right here.
Up about 10% on Altimmune, ALT. Company announcing positive interim data from its...
But I do like this. We're starting to see an upward trend. What do you call this thing? An ascending wedge pattern. Sometimes they hold... Actually, these are actually really good patterns to trade from. The ascending wedges. I would say 8 times out of 10 they'll hold and they'll skyrocket up. So that's 2 good pieces that we have here. We have tweezer bottoms and an ascending wedge. But again, we're in a squeeze. I mean, we've been in since back here. A lot of pressure. So this is either going to blow up to the upside or the downside. And now, as far as the ascending wedge, that's a bad sign because this one just broke out of it. That candle forming right here just broke out of that ascending wedge. And let me get this off because it looks like I'm going to be taken out again on this one. If we break this resistance, yeah, I'm out of it again. So I'm not going to mess with this until later on if we get another trade on it. But too many false indicators. Because right here we had a wedge pattern.
Arcadia Biosciences popping here at $3.22. Romeo Kilo Delta.
We didn't even get to the end of the wedge and we broke out of it to the downside. So that's a really bad indicator. But the tweezer bottoms, I'm really surprised that they didn't work. That is very, very odd for tweezer bottoms and tweezer tops. Usually you could count on those like clockwork. But anywho, I think I'm going to jump off here for the day. So again, if you didn't watch watch from the beginning, I would recommend jumping on YouTube and watching it when you get a minute. Because these Hobbit houses are really key. And you might think it's funny right now. But look, let me pick some random tickers. DPW. Look, here's DPW. Even on today, this is a poor example,
GNX,
but
so GenX shares spiking here on some volume traded circulating.
You got the roof of the Hobbit house with a chimney, right?
Activist insight that.
And what happened? It failed to break out.
Targeted by.
I just saw another one here from yesterday. Let's look at that real quick before I go.
GNX hitting a high of $18.60.
You got the roof of the Hobbit house. And I don't want to bring that all the way down like that. Right there is good enough. Let's see if we can get it on the 1 minute chart. Yeah. All right, so I mean, you look at this, and this is going to tell you where your next trades are going to be. And again, just look at how perfect this respects these downward side, the right side of the roof. I mean, it almost hits this line like clockwork, guys. This is an algorithm that you're playing against. You're not playing against people like you think you are. Alright? Every time you draw the right side of the roof, just look at how it respects that line. Alright? So you're looking for trades when they break out of the chimney area, in conjunction with everything we already talked about. But where you're going to make your money here's another miniature Hobbit house. Every single ticker, day in and day out, you got nothing but little Hobbit houses forming. You want to trade on the left side of the roof, above the 20 and above the 200. Because once you get on the right side, that's where your house is burning down. Know that song? Our house is burning down. But just look at, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Day in and day out. I mean, you're hitting lines. If we were really trading with one another, we would not have patterns that consistently, day in and day out, do the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over again, right? If we were really trading with what you see here, which is why I don't use any of that junk, the charts would look like this. I mean, you would have massive moves. I mean, you just wouldn't have charts day in and day out, day in and day out. This is an algorithm. It's pre-programmed. You know, and you can research that. I mean, they're not hiding it. You can Google it. Do your research on the AI system that they have built for Wall Street. I mean, the best minds in the world built it. But remember, sometimes the smartest people aren't as smart as they think they are, right? Here's another Hobbit house. Same ticker, right? Here's another Hobbit house. Same ticker. Here's another Hobbit house. Same ticker. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. This is what you're trading against. Hobbit houses. That's what I call them. And again, I'm not going to draw them out, but if you watch the video from the beginning, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Ford is making another nice Hobbit house. Let's look at Ford, and then I'm going to jump off. So here's our Hobbit house on Ford. Now this Hobbit house didn't come up to the other one, right? So we're making lower highs right now. So now if you guys sit here on Ford and you draw this little right side of the roof, watch how it respects it all the way down. You know not to get in on the right side of the Hobbit house, on the right side of the roof, right? Here was another chimney, but this chimney started blowing smoke, right? I'll go over this one more time since there's a couple people here, but this is our Hobbit house. And every ticker, every day, same pictures. Let me get this color. Alright, we got our Hobbit house here. And that's exactly what I'm making. Just a little Hobbit house. Or a house with a window. And you think it's funny, but it freaking works like clockwork. Okay? You have your left side of the roof, which is where the money is. And then you have your right side of the roof where there's no money, unless you're going short. Alright? So you had a chimney here, but what happened? You had no smoke. It came right back down. Here, you had a chimney, and it had smoke. Alright? This is where you're looking for an entry. Alright? Now you guys see that? The left side of the chimney, the right side, the roof. This chimney had no smoke. This chimney has smoke. And it's going up, right? So you would have been looking to enter into this. Let's go back to let's get on the 1 minute chart for your entry. Oh, we are on the 1 minute chart. So here was your first area of resistance. Now this is another chimney. Don't get faked out by this, guys. Remember, we don't buy the first candle to break through a resistance area. Because what happens? The second candle forms and you get stopped right out. But notice where this candle closed. Right on the roof line, right? So let's see what this candle does. Now remember, you're going to have candles that break through the roof. But what's important is where on the roof did it close?
CNBY, Charlie November Victor Yankee, indicating $14.50 on 300,000.
So here we had our first chimney.
Convey Holding, Charlie November Victor
But no
Yankee,
smoke.
priced at $14, indicating $14.50. CNBY, Charlie November Victor Yankee.
Now let's redraw this line, because I really want you guys to see how this will respect this line. Let me get it perfect now that we have another 2 candles there. Alright, so here's the side of the roof now where we're touching. But isn't that amazing
HOME.
that we'll just hit this line like clockwork and keep dropping?
Definitive agreement to increase offer price to $37 per share in cash. That's HOME. Hotel Oscar Michael Echo.
Like I said the other day, people never believe me when I tell them I'll buy in at the low and sell at the high. They're like, you can't predict that. And I'm like, join our group. Yes, you can. But again, it's as simple as a cartoon freaking Hobbit house. I mean, how ridiculous is that, guys? Again, you don't see all the crazy indicators on our charts. I mean, you just don't need them. Right? I never used support and resistance before until the markets have been this bad. In all my years, the only 3 indicators I ever used was the 20, the 200, and the VWAP. That was it. But the markets have just been so bad that I was trying to figure all this stuff out for you guys. And I can't believe this Hobbit house. I've actually just learned this in the last few months from watching. I'm like, you know what? These freaking charts look like Hobbit houses, man. You know, and I just started drawing them. And you can backtest this on any chart you desire, and it's just amazing. You could build Hobbit houses every day, all day. Now look at this, right? You're telling me that with all these random people, we're hitting this line perfectly like clockwork? Again, that's why I don't use time and sales or level 2. They're easily manipulated to trick you or fool you. I've seen level 2 run 3 minutes of pure green, massive orders, and the price do this what this candle just did. So, believe it or not, guys, building Hobbit houses should help you tremendously trading and when to get in and out. But just look at how these respect this line that we just drew. Right? I mean, there's nothing more like looking into the future than understanding the algorithm that they're using and how it works. But you can only do this, being in the markets as much as I have been. And again, I don't know if I told you guys yesterday, but my RSI, I set it at 50. And it's been freaking awesome because when it's above the RSI at 50, you could buy, right? It got above here, which gives you the buy to go long. Once it comes down or breaks down or turns blue, that's your time to get out. It's just amazing how accurate that is, too. And again, we're going to be covering this every day going forward here. Yesterday I didn't work, so I was setting up the whole system here. I didn't go live, I should say. But look at this, right? Now, would you guys have taken a trade on any of this had you not seen the Hobbit house? Because I wouldn't have here. On the right side anyway. But the Hobbit house is going to save you. Right? Don't get faked out by the breakout. Don't get faked out by a chimney. If it's going to work, there's going to be smoke, and then you're going to see a support and resistance confirm. Alright? So look at how this just tanked, right? Now it's forming the rest of the house here. So now we got 2 Hobbit houses in a row. Tell me that doesn't look like little Hobbit houses. And how well the right side of the roof, it just respects it. So hopefully you guys learned something. I would definitely watch it from the beginning here. Let me see. Let's go look at Plug. Plug Power. We got the left side of the roof and the right side of the roof. Look at again. Look at this line. Look at these lines, right? You got 2 little Hobbit houses here. But just look at the lines. Look at how it respects the right side of the roof to the downside. And that's because there are way more people shorting, including the hedge funds and proprietary firms, than there are people going long. But you can draw these lines. Look at how that, just look at, does that not amaze you? Look at that. It just boom, 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 like clockwork. Here's your chimney, and now you got smoke. So this Plug is most likely setting up See, now you could draw your lines. Now you have some consistency. Okay, you had smoke to resistance. Now, where is this line coming from, maybe you're asking? I must have measured it off before, yeah. So here's an area of support. I haven't looked at this in a while, so this has got to be a while back that I did that. Probably back in this area. But your support and resistance will always work when you map them out correctly. And the stocks will hit them and reject them. So here's another area. And notice, I mean, if you want to do call options, Mo Money, if you want to do call options, honestly, I have something else for you, which is the standard deviation channel. Let me show you real quick. Let me just put that up here. This is going to mess up all my stuff.
ALF, Alpha E, halted on a circuit breaker. Alpha Lima Foxtrot.
No, let me just look it up. If you type in standard deviation channel,
Tango, Montana Advisors demand
you're going to need 2 of them though. But it'll draw these lines for you. And then when you put in the second set, there are a few things. I have it in one of the videos. But it'll draw these horizontal lines for you. And you could pretty much do options. Whenever you see the stock at the bottom, you'd buy a call option, and once it hits the top standard deviation line, you would sell it. But you could watch that video. That's for another time. I just want to focus on the houses today. Let me get that off of there. Look at this thing one more time, and then I'm outie for the day. So let's draw our line to the downside on the right side of the roof. Now that we got a new line. Just respected it like always. So now we got smoke again, but now we have a new support area. The last 2 trades I took on this didn't work out, so as a rule of thumb, I won't trade on something like that for a third time. What is that thing? Catch me once, shame on you. Catch me twice, shame on me. I won't do it on a third time. Now, later this afternoon, that's a different story. I want to see now. I want this to work itself out, do what it's going to do. Is it going to down and then find a true bottom? And when a stock finds a true bottom, you're going to see it hold and jump off a few times. We haven't seen that yet. We've been all over the place, So later in the afternoon, we might get that, and then I'd be looking to trade in an area like a J-curve back up for a breakout to the upside. So later in the day it might be, but you guys got any questions? If not, I'm going to jump off here and go get something to eat. Hey, let's look. Alpha's jumping real quick. I see it up there on my monitor. Just made a nice move.
Coming up at 10:30.
Beautiful move. So here's your resistance that we just broke through. It must be halted. But now look at the ticker tape. All this red. And that could mean absolutely nothing. But nice move on Alf there. And why did it make such a big move? This is why. This is what I told you I was looking for. Because all of these people here who were shorting, right? They had nothing to worry about all through this, right? And there's millions of dollars here in this area, right? So here, when we came up to this area, we had all of these people trapped. And all of these people was what pushed this back down, right? Because they added more money to their position. Then we came back up. Right? So here's an area that I love to trade in, because this is what you will see. This is what I just drew out on the other chart. I said I want to see consistency, right? And then a dip, and then back up, and then I'll trade in that area. That's exactly what I just told you on the last chart, right? Because I said we were all over the place, and I want to see consistency. Right here, Now it just opened back up. But right here is where it found consistency, right in this area. Let me get these lines off. And she's still running because now you have this second candle is you have all the people that chase stocks jumping in on this candle. Right? This is why I don't, we don't chase stocks. I hope you guys don't either, but this candle right here is people chasing stocks, and they're going to get caught in it. It's a 12 million share float, so actually this thing could rip. These are the floats that I like to see. But anyway, let's get back, because this is exactly what I was talking about, and I want to explain it to you. So you guys, when you see these areas, you can make a lot of money. So again, you have all these people in this area that were shorting, right? All of these people. They have nothing to worry about because the price is below where they got in, right? And then it keep going lower and lower and lower. So now, in this new area, once we broke resistance, you have all these people that got in that are now going to be fighting to keep it away from their position, right? So once it breaks here, you're not only going to have these shorters fighting, but you're going to have all of these people who are short adding to the position to bang it back down so it doesn't go out of their way, right? Man, this thing is really ripping. So what happens here now is now you come back down to support, you test it again.
ASTS getting a pop in volume now.
So it
AST
tested
stays
again,
mobile.
but it came right back down. But on this candle here, that just forced every single one of these people out of their position. Right? This one candle took out everybody here. And the reason why this is still going up is because all of these people now have lost their position also. They were trying, all that red tape you saw was most likely these people adding to their position. Very rare that you see a move like that, but man, that was beautiful. It's halted again right now. This is still moving. But all these people just lost a boatload of money. A boatload of money. Look at some of these orders, 1,000 shares. Some of them are 5, 10,000. But that's why you see these parabolic moves. That's what causes them to happen. And that is the area that they'll always happen in. What I just can't believe we just came here and it's the exact setup that I said I would wait for on APRE. Right now APRE is all over the place. I said I'm looking for an area of consistency. And then, remember, I just drew that picture like this on APAR, right? Because I know that if we do this, this is where your most explosive moves are going to happen. So remember that. That's why a lot of times when I call these tickers out, I have them up on my big screen, and this is the only pattern that I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for that consolidation period where we're staying in the range on support and resistance, and we're not breaking it. And then I'm looking for that break of resistance, and then find a new area. That is like the best setup you can possibly look for, which is going to cause this. Because you're trapping all of these people. Everybody. So let's look at ALF again so I can show you how ALF could, or APRE, how that could set up just like we're seeing now. Alright? Like I said, I want to see us find an area of support, right? So maybe it's going to be down in this area. Right? So you watch this the rest of the day. And if you see that pattern that I just showed you, that's when you're going to want to take the trade. Don't get in on the first or second. Wait for that first or second breakthrough. Remember, these two tries didn't work, right? But they got higher, so that's letting you know that it's coming, right? And then look what else you have here. Look what else you have. You have what? We just talked about it. An ascending wedge. Right? Like I said, these are the most powerful wedges in the right place. The other one was the right place, but an ascending wedge and in an area, the location, that's where you're going to see these beautiful moves. So let's look at APRE. So if it happens today, you guys can grab it. So what you're looking now you have all of these people. They're not closing their positions out. These people short aren't closing out, right? They want to make money too. And shorting is usually the way to go. So you'd be looking for this to, if it comes down here and holds, right? You're looking to see if it either holds like this, where you would then draw a new area of resistance. I was trying to move that, but I can't. And then you're looking for another drop, and then coming back up to it, just like we saw. Because once it does this, and then we come up to here, all of these people are trapped. All of these people are trapped. And once you get up here, it's clear skies. Because you're going to take out all of these people. So that's what you're looking for today on this, guys. If I'm not around and I'm not able to call it. Even right here, I mean, we could just trend right in here. Then you're going to make a new support level. But ALF is the perfect pattern. And that's what I look for. Again, you got the ascending wedge on ALF. Ascending wedge in an area of consolidation with a drop and more consolidation, which I like to call, well, they call a cup and handle, and this is not a true cup and handle, but it's pretty darn close. But you have multiple things going here as far as, one, the perfect setup with your pullbacks, your first test and your second test, where your second retest was higher than your first retest. Let me open that up so you can see. Alright, your first retest, your second retest is higher than your first. Again, ascending wedge in an area that's getting ready to take out all of your shorts. Sorry about that circle. And then what happens, guys? You get a short squeeze. This is how short squeezes happen, right? So that's exactly what you're looking for on APRE today. So hopefully that helps you guys out, but definitely keep an eye on this today and watch that. But I'm going to jump off here. I want to go get something to eat. I'm starving. All right, guys, have a great one. I'm going to call it quits here, and I'll talk with you tomorrow.